Friends with differences.
Friends with differences.
Friends with differences.
Friends with differences.
Welcome back to the Friends with Differences podcast. Stratton Smith, thank you for coming on.
Thank you. That was a blast. That was so much fun.
I'm really happy to have this conversation. And,
I can't believe you said all those things about minorities. That was nuts.
I just had to rip open that jar of worms.
The jar of worms.
What else besides me making horrible jokes did we do this podcast?
Man, I'm about to say we talked a little bit about a funny story I had this weekend where I might have ruined a couple kids' childhoods.
Yeah, and your acting career, our comedy careers, the roast battles.
Yep.
We got going on, seeing the finals.
We got to talk a little bit about wrestling. Got to talk about we talked about like firefighters because we are in a firehouse right now, so we had to talk about it. Yeah, it was
hit a bunch of stuff. The Office.
Oh, we fan.
We might have to do another episode just talking
about
The Office.
I'm in. I'm so in.
Cool. Well, thanks again for coming on, and
thank you.
Enjoy the episode.
It was perfecting schlag.
Hell yeah. All right, I'll see you on the flickety flick. Woo!
Friends with differences.
Friends with differences. Friends with differences.
All right. Welcome to the Friends with Differences podcast.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Yeah, Stratton Smith. I'm very excited. This should be fun.
We're already having so much fun.
Yeah, I just had to hit
because
before.
just looking around, you have so much Office memorabilia.
Oh yeah,
you have a TV guide with core members of the cast.
Yes,
and I immediately felt at home.
The Office secrets revealed.
Yeah, so
TV guide magazine,
because it's like you walk into a space and you don't always feel at home. First of all, I'm walking into you're in a firehouse.
Yeah.
Both my parents are firefighters. I grew up in the firehouses, and so I was just I immediately was all warm and fuzzy, and so I wore my 22 jacket.
Yeah, that's amazing. So you come from firefighters.
I do come from firefighters. The balls of one, and then the egg of one. Yeah.
Yeah. Did they have a fire pole in the fire station?
So that's a fantastic question. I think one of them, because they worked at, my dad was at the 22s for several years, and my mom was at 24s.
Okay.
Here's the thing people don't get. You only need a pole if the firefighters sleep on the second story.
Right.
That's why. To my knowledge, most firefighters sleep on the first floor. So some have them, some don't.
See, right above this space is kind of a loft, right? There's stairs that you can see through this if you look close.
Oh my god, okay,
That's this stair, right? There's a loft right here. So, and there's, a skywalk kind of with a perfect point where the rail stops, and it's there had to have been a fire pole here.
And it depends how big the firehouse is too.
Yeah.
If it's a bigger firehouse and you have to do things upstairs,
yeah,
they'll have them. But then not every firehouse has a Dalmatian either, which I think is an absurdity.
Oh my gosh, I want
every firehouse should have Dalmatian.
Yeah, absolutely. I want one, dude. I love dogs so much, and
you have a dog?
No, I don't have a dog.
It's okay. I flirt with dogs more than anybody,
for sure, dude. Slept with a couple of dogs this weekend. It was great. Dude, I'm a sucker for.
What kind of dogs? What kind of breed? I don't want to do that. I'm just gonna get it out of the way.
I love it, dude. Yeah.
My ADHD is just you gotta take care of that.
Mm-hmm. It has its moments. But Winnie is a golden doodle. Ooh. And then Kobe's a mutt of all sorts, but a lot of Chihuahua.
Alright, so little guy.
He's a big Chihuahua.
So little guy.
They're both little. They're both Winnie's supposed to eat. She's a mini golden doodle, but she's honestly pretty big for a mini golden doodle.
Okay.
As weird
Big
as
girl.
that is.
Hey, we like big girls.
Big
Did you like
girls.
Scarface style with them?
Yeah, pretty much. I
Just
sleep on
guns,
my
right?
back, and one of them's like at my arm, and one of them's at my legs, and
But they're not your dogs.
they're not my dogs. They're my brother's dogs.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he was cool with you doing this?
Kind of.
Kind of.
I hate to say it, but I think they might be a little jealous that the dogs like come to my bed, the bed I'm sleeping at, instead of typically.
Well, here's the
go
thing.
sleep with them.
They're used to them.
Right.
Brother Evan doesn't come around all the time, so it's like, why not get your smells in? Get your feels.
For sure. I tried to I've written a good amount, trying to do a bit about how like dogs are just sluts, just across the board.
For sure.
I mean, they're just looking for action.
Yeah.
All the time.
And cats are just
Yeah.
little teases.
Yeah, for sure. Cats never give them. They're like cans.
Yeah, but here's the thing, because I got a dog, and she's an
Yeah.
Australian Shepherd Collie mix. Matilda, she is my shoddy. She is 10 out of 10. But
wait, what breed is it?
So she is a half rough collie. So
Okay.
then that would be like a lassie dog,
Okay.
and then half Australian Shepherd.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and she's got a brown eye, blue eye. She's a little
Really?
Oh yeah, she's a little.
That's
weird.
amazing.
She's a little weirdo.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Is she fairly well tamed and domesticated? Is she good at taking commands? Or is she chill on a walk? I don't know.
Yeah, she is chill on a walk.
Yeah, I love
So
that.
she's 6, and so we live out in Greenfield, and so we've got an acre and a half. So our walks will consist around a little bit of the yard and everything like that.
Oh, yeah.
But she's to the point where she can be off the leash. But she's been testing it.
Oh, for sure.
Because it's hey, this is the weirdest thing as God. This is the weirdest thing is when you have to tell them to get over here, you say come.
Right.
So when you're doing training for it and you're going to give them a treat, you have to remind them what they did good with. And so I'm looking at my dog saying, good come.
Good come.
Good come. No, good come. And
Yeah.
and then I think I just really put myself
Let's
into
go.
a little bit of a hole.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then other people are looking at me like, what did you just do to your dog?
No, my dog comes great.
Yeah, I have the goodest girl. I really do.
Oh my.
Yeah, I haven't done stand up in front of my dog though, and I really want to.
That'd
My-
be fun.
here's
In
my
front of-
thing.
Just practice in front of your dog. That could be fun.
Oh, I all the time.
Yeah.
Dude, my dog sees me pace around my house all the time.
I've done it before in front of my brother's dogs. I'll go and let them out at lunch sometimes or something.
Yeah.
And I'll just be telling them jokes.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but they do pay attention well. I find it kind of weird because, sorry to out Sally, but Sally kind of she always turns the TV on for the dogs to watch when they leave.
I think that's really loving. I think that's a loving move.
But oh my god, what a level of spoiled.
But then what do you put on though?
Sports. It's always sports.
Always sports. All right.
Winnie loves sports. Just ask Sally.
All right. What are her teams?
Oh well, it's the Pacers or IU or it's just basketball.
She's a hometown kid.
Hometown for sure.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And I assume that means those are your teams?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. For sure.
100%. No, that'd be crazy.
Have you really ever talked to her about what she likes,
Yeah.
Evan?
Winnie likes the Patriots. Oh, she'll sleep outside.
What a dirty cheater.
That'd be crazy. You'd have to give it up for adoption.
Yeah, and here's the thing, because I'm a Colts fan as well, and I was born to hate the Patriots.
Yeah.
Now, Belichick's gone, Brady's gone. It's
yeah.
I don't care about the Patriots.
Dude, I saw the most. I mean, it's hard for me to get invested. I have to be around people that are invested to get invested. To be honest.
You don't want to be the only person that's on the edge of the seat,
Yeah. Well,
because I know that guy. I know that guy.
As much as I do love watching sports, I just don't seek it out generally. I just don't look for if my
I get it. That's not your first instinct to go watch let's watch sports.
yeah I don't know, but I love going to games.
See, I used to consider myself a sports guy, and I am when it's live. When it's live, it's wonderful.
Yeah.
But then my best friend in the world, Daniel, who I do my podcast with,
Yeah.
he is a sports guy. Like, when he is alone, he watches sports. And when he's got the ESPN notifications and everything like that. And I realized, I was like, oh, I'm not, like, a sports guy. And I grew up playing, like, sports and everything in between, and it's just like, but then the game I like to play is, if you could only pick one of these, what would you pick?
One sport?
No, of these three options.
Okay.
Sports, movies, TV, music. If you could only pick one of those, what would you pick? I hate to be the one to ask you questions on your show.
No, it's great.
I hate to do
It's between music and TV and movies at the moment.
Uh-huh.
I think... Oh, music's much more universal.
I hate to hurt your brain like this.
Oh, it's
I hate
that's a
to
stressful one because instinctually.
Hey, we can
I
always
wanna
get back.
say
We can always come back
TV.
to it.
Instinctually, like my gut feeling is TV and movies.
But if I can't listen to Love Sosa, then
Right,
what,
and like-
what am I doing?
Like, can you ever have a social gathering like concerts? You're just gonna lose all concerts forever. Oh my goodness.
All concerts forever, but
What
like,
about-
you can watch any musical. Like, no, you wouldn't be able to watch any
Yeah.
musical. Oh, that's something. Plays only.
Musicals kind of get screwed either way.
Sometimes
They're kind of a movie. They're kind of music.
I don't think they get screwed if you like it. Like, I love a good musical.
Yeah, I'm just saying in this hypothetical where you only get one.
Yeah.
I don't know. What if like if comedy was in the mix? I'm pulling comedy.
Comedy I'm picking first.
Yeah.
Anytime. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a no-brainer.
But then there's comedy music. I grew up on a lonely island. I don't know.
Yeah, dude, I took an English class in college, right?
Whoa,
And,
that's crazy.
I know, super weird.
We'll talk about that.
But the professor was super cool and kind of young and kind of a hippie. I mean, he was totally a hippie. And the whole
Hippie English
class-
teacher. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm trying to
I had two English teachers. Both were like kind of young hippies. It was great.
Really cool.
Yeah, it was awesome.
English teachers are the best.
Yeah. Surprisingly, like
And
English
especially
is
if
the
they're professors
subject-
too. English professors are cool.
I find like the least approachable for sure. Like I'm a math guy at heart, like math and science. But
Fuck you.
yeah, I'm sorry. So
See,
English
that's me projecting because
Yeah.
I'm not a math person at all.
Really? Oh,
I
I
don't
think
do
in
well.
fractions.
Because,
and
but
all
then you
translated words.
majored in agriculture, right?
Architecture.
Yeah, architecture. I was an English major.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Fuck yeah. So, I'm sure
So maybe your nightmare was like, I was like, oh no, those are my favorite people.
Dude, it's crazy because like I have always like not had an instinct to like read like impulsively or anything.
I'm the same way.
Yeah,
But I became an English major.
yeah, that's wild. For some reason, like grade school, high school, college, like all of my favorite teachers or professors were English teachers.
Because
As crazy as that
because
is.
they're the best.
Yeah.
Because
Is it just because you know so many stories? What is it?
it could be that. I think English professors, there's at least a knowledge of empathy and perspective and seeing different sides,
Yeah.
and also subjectiveness. Some people look at, like with math, it's like it's either right or wrong. There's always an answer. In stories and like English classes, it's all a little bit gray. It's always up to perspective, and you get to kind of analyze it and get into critical thinking.
Yeah.
And that's what always attracted me to it, because I went into college a marketing major. I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I was like, I want to do something in business. I took an accounting class, and I barely passed it. And had a chat with my financial advisor, and we're like, hey, so you got a D+ in accounting 1. You do have to take accounting 2, and it is significantly harder.
Yeah.
I was like,
for sure.
but I had a first year seminar class with an English professor, Miss Stacy Erickson Pasetsky, one of the best professors I ever had. And
Fantastic.
yes, and then I had a second semester class with my other favorite professor, J.A.K. Two of the best educators I've ever met. They're both English, but I was a marketing major. So when this came around, I was just like, why don't I just become an English major, figure it out later? Because I in their classes I was the most engaged. I felt like I was like these were the classes I felt the most engaged in, and it was just open conversation.
Yeah,
it's like okay, this is cool. So I became an English major and didn't know what I was going to do with that. And then had a sales minor because I took a bunch of business classes and didn't know what I was going to do with that.
Yeah.
And then,
No, that's a solid journey. That's awesome.
In North Manchester, Indiana, middle nowhere, Indiana,
Oh,
little cornfield school, little pea school. It was a groovy time.
Yeah, I'm sure that is like a great group to be around. Yeah, so my history teacher in history.
History teachers are cool as hell too. Like
what a curveball, Evan. But I was trying to say my English teacher at the university based the whole semester on music. So you were supposed to write about music, and I wrote about music and comedy. It was such a fun time.
What? Who'd you highlight? It's okay if you don't remember too.
Well, honestly,
Weird Al?
Yeah,
Okay,
for sure.
just
Weird
like-
Al, Bo Burnham,
I love Burnham.
Lonely Island. I was trying to come up with. I keep wanting to say like Zach Zuba, but Zach Zuba.
Zuba, yeah.
The
Well, hey
wonderful
man,
show.
he jams out too.
No, there was. It's Frank Zappa, I believe.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah. So that's where I was trying to get to, but my brain was just shooting out Zach Zuba.
Well, yeah, but then, and I think it's fun because a lot of people think like comedy music has only been happening since like the 90s or something, but there are like songs from like the 50s and 60s that were like funny too. There's this one guy named Clarence Carter. He has this song called "Strokin'." Funny ass song,
That's
but
awesome.
way ahead of his time.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
How about you stroking?
Dude, I was in the shower today just
Same.
singing a horrible song I made up.
You made up. See, I love it. Yeah.
It was a funny song. I don't know if it can ever get sang again because the plot was so wild. It was about.
Did you have a like a build up chorus?
Oh, for sure.
Did you have a string? Yeah.
There was. It was
Hook,
all
sorry.
about this drunkard who liked. He was this really drunk asshole who would try to beat up gay people, and then eventually there was a big enough gay person to just kick his ass and fuck him, and then he just got fucked by all the gay people he beat up and turned gay.
Okay. I think I want more. of this, yeah.
I should have recorded it. Really.
Have you ever thought about getting into a musical comedy game?
So the reason I was thinking of this because it's been a recent consideration to like let's write a comedy song because Smocktown Brewing Company. So they do an open mic Tuesdays as well as Planetary Brewing Company.
Yeah.
And for a good stretch, me and some others like Mason and Jalen would all go like right after the show next door and try to do a set. But some comedians kind of went too far, and so now they don't let comedians go. But Jalen still goes and plays music.
How'd they go too far? What subject?
F-bombs, just a lot of fucks.
That is a lot of open mics.
Yeah, I'm supposed to be clean, and
So that was the standard, and they just broke it.
yeah, I mean,
Not the standard, but the boundary.
Yeah, for sure. They crossed the line repeatedly. Well, like a comedian crossed the line multiple times, and then like another comedian crossed the line multiple times, and then I don't know. There's some bad looks, and so
Yeah. Rest in peace, crackers, man. I get it.
yeah.
See,
For
seeing that stuff wouldn't work there.
But so Smocktown still does this open mic where they do like musicians most of the time. And,
Okay, so it's me. Yeah.
But comics aren't allowed. But Jalen still performs and like we could do a comedy song.
Yeah.
You know.
What would you do? Do you guys play any instruments?
No.
So you would just be acapelling?
I mean, do I play any instruments? Not really. No. Not seriously, dude.
Just
I'll
not
like
just
play.
whip out a recorder. Just like let's do this.
Oh, I'd love to get good at the harmonica and just always have that, just ready to bust out.
You just watch the Bob Dylan movie. It's like, I think I really want to get into the harmonica.
For sure.
And Timothy Chalamet a little bit.
Oh, it just seems so practical to always have. I don't know.
Yeah.
You play any instruments?
No, I'm not. I can hold a tune.
Yeah.
But like in terms of instruments or anything like that.
Yeah. Man,
huge music fan.
R.I.P. Crackers. That kind of brings us full circle to like the first time we met was the first time I performed at Crackers. I think.
Yes, and you did really well that night.
Yeah, thank you. I really enjoyed that night. There was a good amount of people that came out.
You had a great crowd like come out.
Yeah, it was fun. It was like I'd only done Helium before that.
Okay. Did you have a good experience at Helium?
Yeah, pretty solid. It was only 3 minutes.
Yeah.
And it did go pretty well.
They're fun stages. Yeah.
It was like it felt like a debut because Helium I just went alone and got on the alt list and happened to get up. So I was there with nobody.
So Universe?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Who'd you meet there?
Oh, all sorts of people, but
I love meeting like all the different people, especially the Helium mic because there's so many comics that come out. It's like almost kind of like a reunion sometimes.
Yeah.
It's like oh my gosh, I haven't seen you forever.
yeah, it was. Do you know Aiden Abel?
Aiden Abel, yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah. He's fresh too. It was both our first times at Helium that night.
All right, so then it was like a bonding moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
And then I don't know.
I just had that with I just had my first Sunday show, and then so did Maya Smith, and I was just I was like cousin and
Hell
yeah. It's just it's cool to have like first experiences with like people. It's just like all right, we're bonded forever.
Yeah. I saw was Marissa on that show too? She did one Sunday show recently.
Yeah, I think she was on Sunday show, but we were on the Planetary Roast.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
that's
dude.
where.
And then and you were on the Planetary Roast.
Yeah,
congrats, champ.
Yeah, thanks.
Put it up,
dude. I think we're on separate sides of the bracket, but
seeing the championship,
fucker. Seeing the finals, dude. That'll be fun. I really enjoyed the first round. It feels I'm up against Marissa next round.
Okay, yeah, dude, she had a great round.
Yeah, for sure.
She had a great round.
She has a lot of quick.
She riffs really well.
Yeah,
and she's fun to watch on stage too.
Yeah, and I don't like me and Jalen. We go back, so I had just a plethora.
Dude, and his mom was there.
Right, and I felt horrible, but I was like, I'm not doing.
If I'm like because I've been in a few roasts, and so like I've got these. If I know that their mom is in the crowd, I'm not going to be able to. So it's probably good you didn't know, but then
I did. I apologized before the show because I was like, I'm about to say horrible.
That should be points against him. Like he brought his mom. It's -4. You can't do that. You lose at least one of the rounds.
Yeah, for sure. That's one judge vote against you.
But yeah, you had
I should have
really good.
leaned into that a bit more because that is crazy. Like my mom's very supportive. She goes to my shows a good amount. I didn't really talk to her about the roast. I was like, no,
I get that. Yeah.
You don't need to come to this.
You don't.
Yeah. They're going to say horrible things about me, and you're going to watch me say horrible things.
And then if I see you laughing at the horrible things that they say about me, I'm not going to get my next one out. Yeah, imagine
that's not gonna help at all.
Imagine your mom watches you get like murdered in a roast.
Yeah, your mom starts to cry.
She's like, no, your mom starts to clap and laugh at you. That's even worse.
Jesus, yeah, that's way worse.
It's like, oh my baby, they're right about my baby boy.
You. Oh no.
Or she was actually feeding information to the other person the whole time, and your mom betrayed you. Yeah,
that's what I need to do. I need to text Marissa's mom. That's what I need to invite her to the roast.
That's gonna be great for the promo. Yeah, that'd be a good promo. Like you talking to Marissa's mom. Don't do that. Don't do that. That's funny. Please don't do that, Evan. But that would be good.
Oh, that's hilarious. I was gonna try to do a little promo for the past roast, so I wrote like 3 really dumb your mama jokes at Jalen that I was gonna record, and I ran out of time. But I was excited for them. So now they just, I don't know. Your mama jokes.
That's all right. But I'm excited for round 2 because it's like what?
Who are you against?
I am against Ty.
Okay.
Yeah.
He was in the first round, right?
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
Do you know each other?
I met TJ I think a couple times, but kind of like online friends and everything like that. But
Nice.
TJ Cartwright is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's from Shelbyville, and so like I grew up kind of like half east side of Indianapolis, half Greenfield, Hancock County on the other side, and so he's from the other side of like Shelbyville, Shelby-Tucky. Best casino in Indiana, other than all the other ones. But
It's really the only one I know.
well, there's that one. Then Anderson next door. You go down a French Lick.
Yeah. See, I haven't done those yet. I haven't done
Riverboat gambling trips.
Hell yeah.
Damn,
You've
you're
done that?
No.
I've never done that.
No,
That sounds
well,
lit. I've done a cruise. I did a cruise a couple weeks ago.
Where'd you go?
The excursions were Key West. Florida.
Hey, first of all, nice word. Continue.
Yeah, thank you.
Nice word.
Crushed it.
Oh my god. My
It
English
was- brace yourself. In Progreso, Mexico. Butchered that. I was so
Okay,
mad.
alright. You need to...
Yeah, Progreso. Oof. But that was sick.
Progresso!
Progreso. Right past the Gulf of America. Oh, yeah. Somebody
that's
mentioned it as we were touring. I went to the Chichen Itza Temple, which is amazing.
Also, good word.
Thank you. I've struggled with it
Alright,
on stage.
Who'd you go with?
Me and my dad went on the sub excursion because we ported at 8 in the morning, and then the Chichen Itza Temple was 2.5 hours away by bus.
Okay.
In
You guys went on a
Mexico.
field trip.
Yeah, but it's this amazing old Mayan ruin, and of course this is going to be a horrible oversimplification, but it's a giant temple, and
Was it pretty holy?
Colosseum.
Or is it just people walking around doing that?
I mean,
or
it
were
was
people
cool. A lot
just...
of people. I mean, people were fairly zen. One of the wildest parts were there's a lot of native people that live there that are selling stuff along the road, and this
That's
road's
your job.
1,000 years old.
That's their job.
Yeah, and one of their
I'd like to say somebody's got to do it, but they don't have to. But they are, and that's cool.
they make it happen.
What's like
The amount of motorcycles was amazing. They all ride motorcycles.
Yeah.
And they're trying to sell all sorts of little knickknacks. And one of the things is a screamer whistle. And so they blow into it and it's
Yeah.
Sounds horrible. But every 5 minutes somebody's just screaming at you.
But what parent is buying that for their kid?
Oh, I don't know.
Or do you think kids are nope, I got $2.
Yeah.
It's you gave me that
for
$2.
sure.
Don't worry about it. I'm getting this to annoy you the entire rest of the trip.
5 of these.
Please. Yeah.
So that was pretty wild. I don't know. It was have you seen Apocalypta?
No.
Oh, it's a great movie about the turn of the century, in the height of the Mayan culture, kind of.
Okay. Are you a big history guy?
I like history. I'm not a wizard at history. But
You're not a wizard. You're a social studies teacher, Harry.
I couldn't be a history teacher at the moment. I could do math or science or architecture. I was asked.
You're I can teach the hell out of architecture.
For sure. I would crush that.
Alright, yeah. And then so what got you into architecture?
Oh,
You just watch How I Met Your Mother.
Stuff.
You just watch How I Met Your Mother and took it seriously.
For sure.
Yeah.
In high school. Well, I got into it pretty early. I had an idea that I wanted to do it going into high school. And then there was a drafting class taught by Mr. Ratliff, who's the best.
The Mr. Ratliff?
The captain, Mr. Ratliff.
The chosen one?
Oh, yeah.
Ratliff?
Yeah, who's a great guy. He used to teach at Rock College, and he taught a 4-year drafting class. So I had him and took his class for 4 years, and we just
cool.
hand drafted.
Oh, so he's a homie.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Big baseball guy, an architect. I mean, just practical. He drove a Corvette to work.
Was he also the baseball coach?
No, No, I don't think so. I think he had taught, but
He just needed to talk about baseball with somebody, and it happened to be all of his students.
Yeah, for sure, all the time. And my second year, my sophomore year, it was his 50th year teaching. And he was going to retire, but we were all like, yo, don't.
Wait, who are you to tell him don't retire? No. How old is this guy at this time?
Well, I don't know if I said it, but I remember students saying it. I don't know.
Hey,
I definitely...
That student is selfish as ballsack.
He was there for like 6 more years, 7 more years.
Probably because somebody was like, don't do it. And he's like, you know what, you're right. It's like, no, go retire. Be with your family.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
You've done enough.
But the problem is nobody can fill his shoes like he knows how to teach it, you know?
Yeah.
And so it's just so.
I was a substitute teacher for one day, and I was like, no, I'm Audi 5000.
Just going to see like 30 random
And here's
kids.
the thing, it was an English class too. Well, that's the thing. Middle school English class, yeah.
Just jumping in, that would be horrendous. I don't want to do that. I don't know. Yeah. Teaching, I feel like I would be a good teacher, but I have no desire to teach.
I relate with that a lot because a lot of times I would tell people an English major, they're like, oh, are you a teacher or is that what you want to do? I feel like you'd be a good teacher.
Oh, yeah.
And so I've gotten a lot of people be like, you'd be a really good teacher. And I believe them. I think I would be. But I started to go that path and then I was given a choice, either that path or another one. Yeah. And I chose the other one. And so I at least got a little glimpse of like teaching. It's something that at least was always an option.
Yeah.
But
because I feel like I've heard comedians like do bits before about like how the only thing you can do with an English major is teach English. It's kind of like a
what do you do with a BA in English?
Yeah.
A lot of people are like,
write? I mean, writings. I was thinking another channel.
Yeah,
or is that more like journalism's a different major? I don't know.
Well, journalism is kind of in that house of English. It's like kind of like right next door, but with English there are different concentrations. So there's like you could be an English literature major, and so then a lot of those people go the route of like teaching professors. Maybe they'll go and write themselves. They'll get into librarian shit. Everything, but then there's like writing concentrations, and then those are people are journalists and also teachers and everything. Maybe they go. It depends if they get in a really good school. Maybe they'll go write like writers' rooms and everything like that. A lot of English majors and everything. But the thing about English majors is there's not one like path like that they go through. So English majors just kind of go all over the place. Yeah. And so I went. Yeah, I went to a restaurant first. That's where a lot of English majors go, are the restaurants. Yeah, but I love restaurants. But yeah, there's no
one of my best buddies who just was on the podcast is a journalism major, and he's got a solid gig, but it doesn't really relate to his journalism degree.
Well, yeah, because a lot of people think like it has to what you're majoring in, you have to like make that your identity, and then your next job has to be that. That's not the case. You just kind of go wherever you're excited to go.
Yeah, for sure. So, I mean, you're a comedian by night. Are you a full-time comedian?
No, because I average about like a show a week.
Oh, really?
So, okay. Yeah, so about a show a week.
I mean, I love you're always like on top of it with the graphics. Your graphics always look awesome. Do you do those? Do you like put out your own schedules?
I do, like my posters and everything. Yeah, I would say that's me.
Oh, yeah.
That's awesome. Canva, $12.99 a month.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I would say, where's the sponsorship? Yeah.
Yeah.
But I started doing like my own posters because when I first started, I was like, I don't know too much about like this editing stuff. Yeah. And I paid one person one time to do a poster for me, and it was real bad. And I was just like, you know what? This is going to be more cost effective if I just get into it. Yeah. So then you start making like your own posters, sometimes silly stuff and everything, but you just get kind of comfortable. Yeah. And then you just get like an aesthetic that you think matches like what you're going for. Yeah. And, yeah. So I like
Yeah,
that.
it does seem like a consistent style, like your posters. And I'm a recent viewer of the podcast, which is fun.
Yeah.
But it
Thank
does
you.
seem like the aesthetic like relates. Like you can, see the resemblance or that you've done it. Yeah,
Thank
it's
you.
cool.
I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm a big like aesthetic person, and yeah, I don't know. There's everybody's got their own style that they like, and or they're either trying to mimic. But, yeah, we're all just figuring out what works for us.
I feel like a hypocrite at times because I really don't listen to too many podcasts.
Yeah,
but I do love putting out this podcast. I love doing a podcast, but I'm a horrible
consumer
of a variety of podcasts. The only I listen to a ton of I've been listening to the original Kill Tonys. I'm on episode 140 now.
All right,
but start from the first pilot when it was called Hinchcliffe Notes.
All right.
But yeah, I don't know. That's the only one I consistently watch.
Yeah, you're a hypocrite. What the hell?
No.
No. But is it like an attention span thing, or is it you're just not?
Yeah.
It's do you drive in your car a lot? Are you a big driver?
Yeah, a good amount.
I'll say that's where I get my podcast done.
Yeah, I mean, not regularly, but I'll have stints where I drive. I'm gonna for sure go to Kokomo, went to Ohio last week to visit a job.
But you like music a lot, so you're probably gonna listen to music a lot of the time.
Or Kill Tony.
Or Kill Tony. All right, I got you.
I am just I don't know. I do consume a lot of that. More recently, though, Kill Tony's kind of been put on the back burner because I've been watching so much Roast Battle League.
All right, the roast battle. Yeah, I would say
it's great.
Well, I grew up watching the celebrity roast with my dad, and then you get to see Jeff Ross's roast battle, and then you get to see all these other leagues that are coming around, and it's just fun.
Yeah, it's cool.
It's cool.
I'm excited. I hope we get into the roast battle league because I know Kevin's been talking.
Hey man, here's the thing. There's some heavy hitters in the group.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm scared of some of them.
I was happy with the whole first round of the tournament.
Yeah, because here's the thing: the first matchups, everybody kind of paired up together, and they're I get to me and Adrian Gomez that I roasted. He's been one of my longest friends in the company.
Yeah, I didn't know that until that night.
Oh yeah, he one night we were drinking, and he got on my Peloton bike and was just doing that for a solid 5 minutes. I was like, whoa, look at this guy go. Yeah, but I run into him around Indy all the time, and he's just always such a joy to run into. He's a homie. But so then, so it's you got that round done. Now the next one, you're just I don't know you as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, but there's not one. There's literally wasn't one person that I don't like. For the most part, that's in the tournament.
I mean, the only kind of real friction seems to be Cole and Ouija seem to have some genuine distaste, kind of for each other.
I'm not educated enough to know about that situation or anything, but it's you hear things. It's they've had either some beefs or anything.
Yeah, I don't know if they just are playing into the roast so well, or.
All I know is Cole Peterson is a little sweetheart, and anybody that has beef with that.
Yeah, no, I love him. I can't. He's doing. I haven't seen him do the Helium show, but I heard he's been doing that.
Yeah, I would say I think he's been doing really, really well at Helium.
Yeah, I saw him the last I saw him at the roast, but the Liberty open mic is awesome. I'm kind of a sucker, so. Now Wednesday night's is kind of Survivor night.
CBS, baby!
Oh, I love Survivor. And so that's kind of taken Wednesday night.
And Survivor, I hear, has been popping this season.
It's good. It's good for sure. The last episode was actually nuts. The tribal council was crazy.
I heard there was a vote that was a very dumb vote or something like that.
Yeah, kind of. The rules got to an extreme point where it was essentially only one person could vote, and if they didn't pick somebody, they were gonna have to leave.
Yep, that's how it goes.
Yeah, and which is
I
stuff
love
feels
a good
honest.
twist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and there was so much scheming and talking. Like I love how like raw and persuasive, and I don't know, it just feels so real at times because
It's real. That's why they call it reality.
yeah. It feels very revealing of like I don't know the times. Like I go back and watch a lot of seasons, and
So you've been watching it for a while.
oh yeah.
See, so you're on the Survivor side. I'm a huge Big Brother fan.
Oh really? Yeah.
And it's not like you can't have both, but I
get it.
I think you're either into Big Brother or you're into Survivor.
Yeah.
There probably are people that cross and like both, but I come from a Big Brother family, super fan family.
Huh. Really?
Yeah, I've applied 3 times
Wow.
and they haven't wanted me.
Wow. That's their loss, dude.
That's what I'm
Wow.
saying, man.
So, I know
I love
I haven't
religion.
caught an episode ever of Big Brother, but one of my coworkers is a Big Brother guy. And
Super
I'm a
fan.
Survivor
We
person.
call them super fans.
Yeah, super fan. He's a super fan.
Yeah.
And from what I've gathered, it's the same vibe of you're voting somebody off.
It's a social game.
Yeah.
There are challenges. Then they are skill based. They could be physical, so some people have an advantage. They could be like puzzle games, so other intellectual people have an advantage. But the social game, everybody kind of has the same chance because you're going into the same place. You can either choose to connect with people or distance yourself. When to do that, when not to do that. You get $750,000 if you're the last one.
Oh, okay. Hell yeah.
Do you know, like, kind of like the plot of like Big Brother?
No, I mean I know it whittles down to one.
Will's down to one, but it's a social game. So depending 16 people
Right.
usually go into a house,
Survivor too.
and every week they eliminate someone.
Yeah.
And it's a house.
It's a vote.
It's a vote. It's a vote.
Public vote or is it private?
Private. But it can get public
Yeah.
pretty quick.
For
Sometimes you just have to. It's a numbers game, so people will create alliances so that they can impact the vote. And it's like we just need 6 to vote this person.
Yeah.
There is a power veto every week where you can play, and if you win, you get the power veto, or you can give the power veto to somebody so they can't be.
Whose veto was? What is his power?
You don't. His veto is you get to stay another week.
Oh, okay.
For free.
It's the immunity idol.
I
was gonna ask
it's
about
the
that.
immunity idol. Yeah, that's your language.
Because in Survivor, right? What happens is there's typically 2 challenges an episode, right?
Yeah.
And there's 2 different tribes most of the time. Sometimes there's 3, but there's 2 different tribes, and they're just living on an island together. And then they go to these challenges, and the first one's usually for like some sort of a reward, and then the second challenge,
Food, right?
food,
Crazy.
typically. Food and a massage.
See, Big Brother, they give them movie night.
Yeah, nice. Every once in a while,
Or a
they'll pop
letter-
off with a car, or
Or a
something.
letter from their dog. Or something. It's like a letter from their like spouse or something.
Yeah.
And they always cry.
For sure. For the content, they have to. You gotta, starve them for a good couple of days, and then give them a letter from their family.
Borderline-
And let them eat.
Borderline unethical
Yeah.
Survivor. I think that's fair to say. Let's malnourish these people. But they do that in Big Brother too, where it's like you can't eat regular food; you have to eat Big Brother slop for a week, and
Really?
it's basically just like this bland, like oatmeal type thing.
Oh,
They did
it's
it-
just vanilla.
Yeah, they did it for years. I think the internet was like, "Don't do that,"
Yeah,
and then I think they kind of laid back on
Man.
slop.
that's like Survivor could never. Jeff, sometimes the contestants are trying to negotiate for rice, and he's like,
Yeah.
no.
But this is what I love about both Survivor and Big Brother. They've kept the same host for all these seasons.
Oh, really? Big Brother has? That's amazing.
Julie Chen, and
Really?
she is our god.
Yeah, for sure. Jeff Probst. I mean, he's a god amongst men.
Yeah.
I
The Amazing Race could never.
Dude, what is The Amazing Race?
Ah,
What the hell?
well-
Who watches it?
Well, here's the thing. You've seen, maybe like hours and hours of Amazing Race commercials?
For sure.
Because you watch Survivor, you always see
Yeah.
Amazing Race. That, I just could never get
Oh.
into it.
Oh my, yeah. We do like Survivor watch party, right? And
Yeah.
my
Well, I've been to
friend-
several Big Brother ones, yeah.
Yeah,
it's
dude, I
great.
get it.
Yeah.
And one of my good friends was like, ranting. We were all ranting about The Amazing Race and how dumb it is.
Dude, you could do. I could do like 10 minutes on The Amazing Race.
Yeah.
Like, wow.
And one of my friends was just ranted about like how it's just white people in like indigenous places just getting mad because they don't know the language.
Yeah. How dare they?
Yeah, and then just I don't know, embarrassing themselves running around. I don't know. It's crazy.
I don't want to say it's dumb, but
Oh, it's dumb. They crossed the finish line and they're like, I don't know. They just came from like a karaoke something, and they have like painted faces.
Well, it's an amazing calculation that they do, because what is the most stressful feeling for people when they feel stuck in a place that you don't know, and you have to drive, like in my car,
a destination.
like if I don't know like how to park, or if it's like busy, I get stressed the hell out, especially if I don't know the language on the signs or anything like that. Even more. Oh, and I got this person riding with me that keeps telling me stuff. Eventually, they're gonna blow up on each other. Yeah. It's a total calculation.
Yeah, it's all for content. It's like, let's make them in just, I don't know, the most stress-inducing, like argument-bound environment.
Oh, I get it. Are you watching any reality shows right now? Or is that like
just Survivor? I think. Yeah.
See, because I've weaned off of Big Brother a little bit in the last couple of years, but I've been watching Temptation Island.
Oh, I don't think I know Temptation.
It's.
Oh wait, no, I do. It's like do everything but kind of, right? Like no kissing, no.
That's too hot to
touching.
handle.
Oh, that's too hot.
Which too hot to handle is nuts, because what they do is they put a group of sex addicts on a resort and say don't bang each other.
Yep.
And that's too hot to handle.
Yeah.
Temptation Island is with couples. There's 4 couples.
They're just trying to break up couples? Oh my god.
Okay, so this is my pitch for Temptation Island. There are 4 couples going to an island. Now, these are long-term couples. They've been together anywhere from like a year. Sometimes they've been together like 8 years. But there is something in their relationship that's preventing them from moving to the next step. Maybe one of them wants kids, one of them doesn't, one of them wants to get married, maybe one of them was cheated in the past and they can't get over it.
There's some baggage.
And this place is a test to prove their loyalty. So what they say to do is to separate the men and women on separate villas for a month, where they live with 12 objectively hot singles, opposite sex.
Okay.
And so on paper that's nuts. That's
for
just
sure.
That's temptation. The best part about the show is at the end of every episode they have something called the bonfire, where you get to watch what your partner is doing on the other side of the island for like a 30-second video clip. You don't get to see what happens before the clip. You don't get to see what happens after the clip.
You just get a 30-second snippet of the worst thing.
Yep, they're usually complaining about their partner, or you get to see them connecting with another person, and that comes in a lot of different forms. There's been 5 seasons and 3 threesomes.
Wow.
And every time somebody's
get
watching,
a threesome for 30 seconds.
well, I think it lasts more than 30 seconds, but the partner gets to watch the threesome. It is insane. It is hosted by Mark Wahlberg.
Really?
But wait, not the Mark Wahlberg. It's no. It's Mark L. Wahlberg. He is a relationship coach, and I like him even more than other Mark Wahlberg.
Really?
He gives really good advice. That is my pitch for Temptation Island. It is like if you put Jeffrey Dahmer on an island with a bunch of gay teenagers.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
You think Jeffrey Dahmer was gay? Oh wait, yeah, he was gay. I was thinking of Epstein for some reason.
I was like, come on.
Yeah, Dahmer.
Come on.
I think he was gay.
I think that's a fair assessment. I think it's a real one.
Okay. You care if I?
Oh yes, absolutely.
I'm sorry. Okay, so honestly, what I realized.
Lemonheads.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
So what I realized is that I kind of was mentally stressing out towards the end of that. So sorry for my mental disconnect.
What were you mentally stressing about?
So there's the heater right there that I have on because the furnace is out for some reason.
Yeah.
And
are you comfy?
there's like a little hum The plan was, turn it off before I do the podcast. Totally forgot to do that.
Okay.
I think I'm writing it out. That way I can just edit the audio all in full.
Yeah, sure.
But
That'll get worked
that
out.
was my mental hiccup.
Oh, you just remembered it.
Yeah.
I'll
I
say,
just noticed it and I was like, shit.
I would say, do you want to like turn it off for a second and then, or do you think it's like an edit thing?
I think it will be easier if I just edit the whole audio for the whole episode. So if you're comfy, I'm comfy.
I'm very comfy.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's
I'm fun.
Yeah, this is cool. You said you're not a big sports guy, but I did catch you on the Jumbotron once.
Oh my god, you did!
Yeah,
No,
I love going to games. And when I saw you, like, at the Pacers game, just like, I don't remember if you were like, if it was like just a fan interaction or during a commercial or what, but I was like, that's Stratton. Oh my gosh, I was so excited.
Yeah, well, we were looking at it, and we were just looking, and then you see yourself, and you're just like, I just blanked out for I was just like, I think.
What do I do? Flash it? No.
I was just like, but then if they would have gotten me 10 seconds before that, they would have just seen me hitting my vape.
Oh, yeah.
Imagine if 10 seconds
that's
before, it's
insane.
just this guy just.
And then you gotta hold it on the Jumbotron. Just.
I want to sing Bon Jovi, but I can't.
It
It was actually all the small things, and so and it's the most overplayed song in the world. But I'm a huge Blink fan, so of course I was still singing, and I was pretty intoxicated.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I was having a good time.
Yeah, I was with my one of my best friends in the world, Tristan. Yeah, my day one. Yeah,
I think I was with my sister. It's either my sister or my friend. I don't know. I've got to go to a good amount of games this year. It's been fun. They just have looked
me
sharp.
too. I was about to say I've gotten to go to a few. Yeah, it's been cool.
It was cool. I got to do. I hosted the very St. Patrick's Day party. Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Happy St. Patty's Day, Irish brethren.
Irish brethren. It was sweet. There was a lot of people that turned out. I said I was hosting. I was emceeing. But it was downtown at McGowan Hall. We had a pretty good crowd. There was probably 200-300 people there at its peak. Okay. And I got to like do the auction, you know.
Did you do the voice?
Oh, I like really didn't, you know. Not really. But two of the items were like a big Pacers suite. It was the Lexus Loft, and then the Fever had like a 20-person. It was the mayor's suite, like center court, like a ball.
Oh, see, it was the nice.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So that one went for like I think it was $2,200.
Oh my gosh.
Something like that. Sounds fun.
Have you ever sat courtside?
No, I've done. Thank you. I've done the suite thing. I've been in like a private suite before. I've done we did the Lexus Loft.
I've walked past it a lot.
Yeah.
Trying to find my seat because I'm lost.
Yeah.
I've walked past it.
Yeah. It
Must be
was
cool.
cool. We went it the last time I did it was for the Gold Over America tour, which was Simone Biles tour.
Okay,
But it was really like an Olympic, like a gymnastics showcase. But
Cool.
with my sister and my
Did you have a
mom,
good
my
time?
aunt. Yeah, it was fun. It was cool.
Dude,
it was impressive for sure.
stupid impressive. Yeah.
Actually, crazy abilities, and it wasn't just solely focused on Simone Biles to a point where I think some people wanted it to be more. But like
Expectations were through the roof.
Yeah, but like
Can't do
there's
that.
so many people, like so many talented Olympians and athletes.
Phelps show up with his bong.
No, I mean maybe in a suite, but I didn't catch it.
Oh, dude, I want to rip with Michael Phelps so bad.
You want to know what's crazy? I'm sorry, I'm having flashbacks, but I went
No?
to Ireland.
Okay, cool. All right.
A couple of years ago, it was in 23.
Yeah.
And we went for the Notre Dame Navy football game.
For sure. Yeah.
It was amazing. And
Did you cry?
A little bit.
Uh-huh. If you didn't, I would trust you.
And I sat next to a girl who said she went to school with Michael Phelps and she dated Michael Phelps for a while.
Dude, that's...
And I was like, wow, did he smoke a lot? And she just kind of avoided the question.
Okay.
But it was so wild. I was like, no way, really?
Well, here's the thing: how many people is that their next follow-up question is like? So did he rip did he rip bongs pretty good?
So we pretty much swam and smoked, right?
Yeah. Does he pearl his blunts, or is he a games or a backwoods?
Yeah. So that was like a wild just connection. I feel like I don't know. I feel like I get to meet a lot of people just because I'm loud or something. But
but there are some people that just have like kind of like radiant, inviting, kind of magnetic personalities. You definitely do have one. I think you make people very comfortable.
Thank you.
And yeah.
If
you had a show and you weren't a person that makes people comfortable, I'd be like, "What are you doing?" But I was like, "Oh no, this is perfect." Yeah.
Hell yeah. Yeah. Thank you. The first time we talked about it a little bit earlier. First time I got to see you was at Crackers, and I saw you perform before I really met you. And I mean, like in terms of like powerful auras, I mean you command attention and like just get attention so well. You have such a vibrant.
Yeah, I was the youngest child, so I'm good at getting attention.
Yeah. See, I was a middle child. I think I just like. That's why I'm just kind of on the.
Malcolm had to get his in the middle.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
For sure. I mean, look how he turned out.
Yeah, but yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, dude. That's why I think honestly, like in terms of roast battle, like who was I talking to? I was talking to somebody. Who are you facing next round? Not Tyler. Who was I talking to? I don't know, but I was like, yeah. In a roast battle against you, you don't have to just outright you, but you have to like overcome your aura and attention and just like I don't know. I feel like you come on with a little advantage, just with like cheerful vibe, just charisma.
I do feel pretty confident in a roast room, but I also I used to work at Dick's Last Resort.
Oh yeah,
I worked there for 2 years. Most fun job I've ever had, and so I'm the only person in the tournament that has roasted people for a living. That's cool. But I would say I do have a writing major that I'm in student debt for. So I'm always looking for opportunities just to use it, I guess.
Yeah.
But
Dick's Last Resort is a fantastic direction to use a writing major. Did you like? It's amazing.
I could not tell if that was sarcastic.
No, it's amazing. It really is.
No, English major, Dick's Last Resort. Adds up.
Couldn't think of a better application. Really.
Yeah.
Like in terms of your comedy career, was that before or after or during your time with Dick's?
A comedy was before. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I assumed. I imagine that just helped.
Yeah. Well, comedy actually started for me in college, where I was in improv. So I did improv for 3 years. I actually co-founded our improv. Oh, who's hitting you up?
Yeah, dude, how unprofessional.
Okay.
A reaction to my lock in a post.
Lock in a post. But no, so I did improv in college and co-founded a troupe with my homie Derek Self, and he had a little bit of improv training. I had only seen every episode of Whose Line Is It Anyway?
Yeah.
No training at all. But by senior year, I was troop leader and everything. But I wanted to do stand up since I was like 16.
Yeah.
But I didn't have the courage to it because one, it was like this dream that I had, and I was always afraid, like, if I started it, what if I didn't like it?
Right.
Now I don't have a dream, and that was a very scary feeling for me. So I didn't do stand up until I was 25.
Okay.
But the way
Hell yeah.
But the way I got into it was through improv, which is funny because there was a mixed mic called the Challenge Mic where it was half improv, half stand up. Cool. There's a bunch of suggestions in a bucket. You take it out and then you riff on the topic, and so that's how I got into stand up. And so what you do is so the last performer would do 10 minutes of stand up. And you would find out who the performer is because somebody would have a receipt that you would put in, you'd sign the back, they'd pull one out, and next week you'd have to come and do 10 minutes at the end. And so one night I got it, and that's how I got into stand-up.
Really? That's cool.
Fell in love very quick.
Yeah.
And I was already in love with stand-up because I've been a comedy nerd for since single digits. And so,
but it just got you to get to like take that step. And like a 10-minute set is a lot. Like early.
But you don't know that.
Yeah, that's true.
Because a lot of people are like, let's come in and do like all this time and everything. And here's the thing, I was one of them too. I was like, yeah, I could do like 20 minutes. And then, then you're up there for 20 minutes, you're like, farts.
Oh, yeah.
Or you're preparing stuff and you're like, I could stretch this out. Or it's like, well, it looks like this is going to be a crowd work show.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm getting flashbacks to him seeing the St. Patrick's Day party because it was like a 6-7 hour long party.
And you just would go up in between.
Yeah, in between acts.
It's fun though. I will say I did Afro Man last year. I hosted for Afro Man.
That's awesome.
It was
hosting for Afro Man.
It's probably my favorite credit that I have.
Whoa, that's amazing.
It was over in Muncie. Yeah, so he's in Muncie just about every year. And so there was one year that me and a couple homies were going to see Afro Man. And we waited until like midnight, and he hadn't showed up, and we had stuff to do. Yeah. So we ended up leaving right before Afro Man came up. Like we were in the car driving up, and then when we hear it was an outdoor venue, we hear Afro Man as we're driving away, and we're just like,
that hurts.
So like a couple of years later, I ended up like hosting for Afro Man.
Yeah,
because it's at Be Here Now, and Be Here Now, I had like 4 shows at within like a year, and they all went like pretty good.
Nice.
And so like I just
they suggested you essentially, or
I asked for sure.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh for sure. I was just like, hey, if you guys need a host for that event or anything, it's like I'm cheap.
Yeah. Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah. Don't tell people I'm cheap though. Please don't.
For sure. But that event,
I got a phone bill, dog.
Yeah.
I gotta buy dog food.
Yeah. Where I guess I was going there was a lot of time hosting in between sets where I was just on the mic for like not 10 minutes, but probably around 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And I didn't prepare like a set for it. I was like, I'm hosting, I'll be good.
Well, did you not know how much time you were probably going to be up there?
Well, I just assumed it was just going to be like, all right, say something about the last act, acknowledge everybody, say, like I had an agenda of like people to thank, sponsors to thank, like announcements to make.
So so the host duties.
Right.
Yeah.
So I had that, but then I had like 7 minutes of just like, all right, and the next band's getting ready. So I just talked about Ireland and
how'd you do?
It was fun? Jokes. It was fun.
Good.
I mean, the people stuck around, so.
Because they didn't go there for comedy, and then yet they get comedy. So did you get a lot of people talking in the back of the bar?
Oh, for sure.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
I think everybody needs to experience doing stand up with half the room talking.
Oh yeah. I mean, the first 2 or 3 rows of tables seemed to be paying attention, and there was probably a lot of people paying attention, but there's so much happening around. People buying all sorts of drinks, tickets, 50-50.
That's comedy, baby.
Yeah, and so it felt like a long time that I don't know, just was trying to talk about anything from Ireland, just talk about stories and
so more St. Patrick bits.
Yeah, for sure. I need to write some stuff about leprechauns and.
Hey, Luck the Irish, top 5 Disney Channel original movie.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Are you a DCOM person?
A DCOM.
Disney Channel original movie?
Oh yeah, I like Disney Channel. Well, I grew up in my sister.
You grew up with your sister?
I grew up with my sister.
No way.
And I'm one of 4. We're all pretty close in age, and my sister is the oldest, and then there's us 3 boys after. And she commanded the remote pretty much on the TV.
Yeah.
And I was cool with it. I didn't really have too much opinion. I was like a how it's made kind of guy, and nobody was vibing. so,
I was trying to get Storage Wars going, but nobody was buying it.
That was kind of Ryan's go-to.
Yeah.
He was a Naked and Afraid or something.
Okay, and then Dad was just Pawn Stars?
Dad he'd go like a movie or something, but he'd rarely take the remote.
Just like, let's watch Fight Club again, y'all.
Yeah.
Well, hey, at least you had good taste. I don't know.
Yeah.
You're just watching Johnny Tsunami and High School Musical.
Pretty much.
My Mom's on a Date with a Vampire. All real movies.
Yeah. What was the... I don't know. I feel like I've been watching... Like, I didn't grow up on Hallmark movies, but...
Oh, you didn't see The Pregnancy Pact? Oh, wait, no, I think that's Lifetime. Same diff.
Are you a Letterboxd kind of person?
It's Letterboxd.
Oh, really? Because I take you as a
Yes,
fairly big movie buff, or I don't know. You
I do
seem to have references popping all the time. And
I do.
I suck at pop culture references. I'm not.
Oh, I'm the exact. I love pop culture.
Yeah, I know. I'm so bad. I'm so bad at names too, which is this is a horrible line of work to be bad at names.
No, because I actually there was something great that happened this year where Pop Culture Jeopardy came out. Colin Jost hosts.
Really?
And wow, that's a sentence. Colin Jost hosts. Whoa.
Little tongue twister.
But I watched it and I tell you, Evan, I felt smart for the first time in my life. I've watched a lot of Jeopardy before, the other kind, and I just feel real dumb. I watch Pop Culture Jeopardy. I feel like a genius. I'm just like shouting at my TV like, Jeff Goldblum! Jeff Goldblum! Like I felt so good about myself.
I'm sure. That's amazing. Yeah, I used to, like last year, pre-comedy, I was going to like trivia nights a good amount.
Yeah.
And every once in a while, the night's just not going well. And it's like, man, feels rough. But every once in a while, everybody's just clicking, everybody's pulling something out.
There's some like good energies, like if it's a full moon, and depending if it's in retrograde. I feel
it feels great.
I'll say I hosted an office trivia with my best friend Daniel.
Did you really?
Yes.
Oh, that's lit.
It was so unattended, but so much fun.
No, really?
It's just him and I, just two microphones, doing it, and then just also kind of riffing.
Yeah, for sure. That's amazing. If you remember the Stacked Pickle.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah, they had an office trivia night that me and my brother and a couple of my buddies won.
You won it?
All right. We brought it home. It was great.
Dude, I'll talk.
It was tight competition.
Yeah,
it was good.
I'll talk Office anytime. Do you have like a favorite character? Who's your favorite character?
Oh, well, I don't know. Dwight has.
Well, he's
my
right
heart,
there.
You know?
He's right there.
Yeah, I went and saw him at Ball State. He did like.
Rain came to Ball State.
Yeah, Rain came to, and I was in high school at the time.
Yeah.
So my dad drove me and my brother up, and we got to see Dwight, and it was just kind of a general like talk lecture. I don't even know if he was particularly marketing anything, but he talked a lot about his book and about his acting career and his like faith journey throughout the whole thing.
I know.
He's a very spiritual person.
He's a groovy guy, and he has a fantastic podcast.
Yeah.
He gets into that
Soul Pancakes.
Soul Pancake.
Yeah. Yeah, what a vibe. And I think I think it comes from a place of like growing up with so open parents, and like he talks a lot about how like people would come and like knock on the door and want to talk about religion, and then they would just invite him in and talk about all sorts of ideas, which seems like most people now, if like a Jehovah's Witness knocks, it's like,
no, I don't have time for you.
Yeah.
Like the walls are up.
Yeah,
but then I think there are just some dynamics. There are some people that are like Jehovah's Witnesses wouldn't do that if every now and then somebody didn't like come on in.
Right,
same thing with Mormons. I would say I used to get visited by Mormons in college.
Yeah.
Well, I lived above a Subway,
Nice.
like Subway Eat Fresh to make
Yeah.
a Subway Eat Fresh that smelled like bread. But the tenants before that were two Mormon missionaries.
Okay.
And so we get there, and they did leave some like pictures and like stuff like that.
Yeah.
But they would come by like every other Saturday because they were still like in the town doing the routes. They just lived in a different spot.
That's cool.
And so I'd like say, they'd come in and everything like that. And And so I had a movie collection.
Yeah.
And I let them borrow one, and they borrowed Jackass. because here's the thing: when they're missionaries, you can't watch anything other than a PG movie. PG-13 you can't even get into. So they see my movie. So they see my movie collection. They're like, "Oh, this one,
Help us out."
Yeah, take it." And then so there's a scene, and it was Jackass 2.
Yeah.
So there's a scene in it where Bam Margera gets branded with a dick. I don't know if you remember this.
Yeah.
And so what they decide to do one night in their place, they find a coat hanger and they make an M with it, and they brand themselves.
Holy shit!
With an M right there.
Oh
I've still
my
got the video on my
God.
phone to prove it.
Holy
So here's the thing: they brand him, and he goes, gee dang it.
God darn it.
It was so funny. He's like, gee dang it. I was like, you are Mormon. Wow.
Dang.
But yeah,
That hurt.
I miss those Mormon boys.
Man,
They,
that's awesome.
I think they're back in Utah now.
That's cool.
Where they belong now.
I didn't realize how prevalent Mormons was until recently. I met a lot of people that are like ex-Mormon essentially.
A lot of ex-Mormons.
Yeah. But I remember talking on campus to some Mormons, just like trying to understand them. One of the weirdest things, like I lived in New York for a good bit, and I thought I had a pretty wide perspective, but I moved to Brooklyn and in Bed-Stuy, and there's a heavy Orthodox Jew population.
Yeah,
in
for
that
sure.
neighborhood. And I didn't know who or what all the people walking around with the curly hair and like robes were.
You couldn't recognize a Jewish person.
I didn't
Or a
know.
rabbi, for example.
No, I didn't know.
Did you
I'm in New York.
Did you not grow up watching Adam Sandler movies?
Some, but like
Not the rabbi ones.
yeah, I was supposed to say, what
So
is
you're
your-
not an Old Testament guy. That's cool. It's not for everybody, I
I
guess.
just had no idea. I had to ask a couple people on the street because the first guy just I don't know if he didn't speak the language or just blew me off. But then the second guy, I was like, "Yo, what religion or way of life are you?"
Mhm.
He was just said in a real thick accent, just Orthodox Jew.
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, that all makes
That
sense."
means they're a little bit strict.
Yeah,
Yeah, Orthodox a little bit more
yeah,
strict.
for sure.
I'll say I love Jewish people. Some of my
Yeah.
favorite people are Jewish.
Yeah, yeah.
They're usually but usually it's like Andy Samberg,
yeah.
R. Schwartz. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. The only thing that like felt
Sarah Silverman. Sorry.
sorry, was they're like all of the kids just are buzz cut with just the curl. It's
It's something about they don't like want to like either shave or cut their temple, and so that's why they get like just those.
really
Yeah, I think there's something. Yeah, and they were the ones that started cutting dicks too.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I'm.
They're like,
I think
cut
I
your
probably-
dicks off, but temple hair, you gotta leave it.
off, just like this little foreskin part of it, right?
Well,
No,
I don't know about
all
what's little. No, you don't chop dicks off. They chop just foreskins.
Okay, good. Just making sure.
But then sometimes not everybody's good at. Here's the thing that I love: the guys that do the cutting.
Yeah.
There's always got to be a first.
Yeah. Somebody introduced it, was just like, dude, I've dealt with this shit all my life. You think an adult did it first, or you think it was all on babies? Like some just like
Probably because I think it was Abraham that recommended it. Maybe it was for Isaac. I don't know. Maybe it was
to
Isaac.
be circumcised?
Yeah, they're like I believe it was Abraham that recommended like, hey, let's cut some dicks.
Is this like in the Bible or something?
Yeah, It's
What?
the
Is it
yeah,
actually?
yeah. So yeah,
This
so
is blowing my mind right now.
So yeah, so in Judaism, they have like the Torah, which is like the Old Testament of the Bible, and so Christianity and like Catholicism and Catholicism, they believe in the New Testament.
Yeah.
Mormons believe in the Old Testament, the New Testament, but then they have their own Book of Mormon, written by Joseph Smith. Not written by him, but he's like the main character. And Brigham Young, where we
Which
have
is-
BYU.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Because
Full circle.
because there was Joseph Smith, who was kind of like the prophet for them, And so he led his people throughout the land all the way to the promised land of Salt Lake City. Salt Lake City! And but then he died because people were pissed. He was killed. And Brigham Young took over the church. And that's where we get BYU, Brigham Young University.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, I didn't know how prevalent Mormonism was until like TikToks of just BYU and people interviewing people about.
Oh, it's the fastest growing religion in the world.
Is it actually?
Yep.
There does
still to this day, it's still the fastest growing religion. The Book of Mormon helped. The musical?
Really?
I know you're not a musical guy, but the Book of Mormon is my favorite musical of all time.
And you think it, because I would think, I mean, that's like a comedy spoof kind of, I assumed it was like more against the Mormon faith.
It is poking fun at it, but then a lot of Mormons like it.
Really?
Yeah, because it's not dishonest. That's why I think a lot of Mormons are like, no. And then a lot of people are like, well, somebody's at least talking about our religion.
Yeah.
And it's not just the Utah Jazz or anything like that. But I know I don't know a lot of Mormons, but I know Mormons that very much like the Book of Mormon.
Yeah.
Because it's still a story.
One of the wildest things that I heard was like, there's like, they do a lot of baptisms for like people that have passed. And so they would like baptize, like I heard, they would get baptized for like each person that dies. So they get like the obituary, and essentially it's like for John Smith, for Gabriel
Gabriel Iglesias. We need a bigger one. We need a bigger one.
Big one. You're gonna be down there for a minute. But
and
just
so
baptized like 100 times for.
Do they smack the water, or do they just act like they're doing it?
They baptize somebody and they like are acting as if it's that person that died.
Oh, okay. Well, talk about the weird day you're gonna have driving back with that spirit in you. Like, dude, I just like buried Justin.
Yeah.
Like Justin's spirit's in me now.
And there's 50 spirits that I've now embodied.
Is it the same guy just getting dunked over?
Just waterboarding the kid.
Just one guy just. Like, God forbid there's a mass tragedy. That guy's gonna die that Sunday. Just getting dunked. Like, it's like, oh no. If there's a school shooting, he is dead.
Oh, just waterboarded in the name of religion.
Waterboarded in the name of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Yeah. Are you particularly religious?
I grew up in the church, non-denominational, but I'm a spiritualist. Yeah. So I'm just a little spiritual, hippy-dippy.
Did you happen to catch the blood moon?
I did. I had a rough blood moon day.
Really?
Yeah. Well, what I've noticed with a lot of blood...
Was it the blood moon, you think?
It could be. I think there is a lot of things at play, but I have noticed, like, for me, if there's like a retrograde or like a full moon, I feel the effects like a couple of days before. Mm-hmm. It's usually not the day of a...
Really?
Yeah. And it also depends, like, because I'm big on like astrology and like knowing like placements and everything like that. And so there's a lot of things like at play that you could look at. Yeah. So it's really like if you feel something and you resonate with it, then it's real to you.
Mm-hmm. Like I stayed up and enjoyed the blood moon.
Oh, you stayed up that night? All right,
cool. Yeah, it was great. We had a fire. I was with Mason. We were hanging out.
Okay,
cool. Roommates, and it was a good time. But yeah, like my mom, she's not she's not like an astronomy kind of person. But full moon will come around and she'll be like, it's gonna be hectic at work tomorrow. It's a full moon. Do you see that moon? It's gonna be crazy at work.
And you're saying a lot of times pretty accurate.
Yeah.
I don't know, because a lot of people don't know, like, the stars were, like, the first science that we had. Because a lot of people are like, oh, no, I look at science. It's like I look at science, I don't believe in astrology. Astrology was the first science that we had.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's the one we've been studying the longest.
Like, the bring it back to the Chichen Itza temple.
Please, I was waiting for you to.
It was amazing how it's designed. The architecture of the temple was designed around their calendar. It's an 18-month calendar. That used to be 20 days a month, and so like each of the tiers that this temple kind of steps up represents a month. And there's 20 around.
Okay.
And each of the steps, there's 91 steps aside, and that means there's 364 steps, and then there's like one final tier that's a step on top.
You have to jump off and do a flip.
Yeah. But we just had
it's like Midsommar, just like jump off the cliff.
Well, they just had people. I was joking about it on stage because I was like, I went, and it's where they sacrificed people by ripping out their still beating heart, which felt appropriate because it was the same day that Crackers closed.
I do always love to envision, because that comes from kung fu movies of just ripping into a guy, taking him apart. But the first time I saw it was in Dumb and Dumber.
Oh really?
Oh yeah, when Jim Carrey does it in a fantasy in his head, and just puts it in a doggy bag, gives it to him, guy falls over. And I'm oh, Bruce Lee been doing that for years. Okay.
Yeah, and apparently the Mayans were doing it way before that.
Because it's kind of impressive if you can impale somebody
and then you just kick them down the stairs and then just
300 style, just pop.
Yep. So while I was there, I was at the base where all the townspeople would be shouting, waiting for the head to roll down.
Yeah. All the neighborhood kids are yay, we want the pinkies. I don't know what neighborhood kids are into that are cannibals. I never read Lord of the Flies.
The wildest detail about the temple was there's these giant snake heads at the base, capping the rail of the stair, or at the foot of the rail.
It's a little Medusa action,
right? And so the solstice just happened, and that's a big day for them because the temple is oriented so perfectly to where, during the solstice, the profile of the tiers of the temple, make the light shine perfectly on the rail where it slithers down to make the snake head body,
and then illuminates a little bit. Or
I think it just completes the snake head at
And so it was very intentional though.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And so I think 15,000 people be able to see it. It's a big celebration.
So that's your architectural nut in your pants,
dude.
Basically.
I gotta do something with a calendar, dude. I gotta use the sun somehow. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was impressive.
It was impressive. I'd like to steal it.
Yeah, dude. If I could replicate it, that would be impressive for sure.
Okay.
Which seems crazy because they pulled it off 1,000 years ago. And it's can we do it today? I mean, yeah, we could, but can we organize ourselves enough to get it done?
But here's the thing: they would go and see the Empire State Building and shit their pants.
Yeah,
they're "What is this?"
Yeah, but we can't even do the Empire State Building today. They built that thing in a year. You know how long it takes to build shit nowadays?
Well, here's the thing: they might have had the help from the aliens 1,000 years ago.
Maybe they did with the Empire State Building too, because they built that crazy fast.
Yeah, all the workers could have been aliens.
Yeah, there's Men in Black.
Well, there are probably a lot of Irish ancestors doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I know that was a port. And so a lot of people probably were building and construction with red hair.
Yep, for sure. Huh. Wild to think about. I love all the old pictures of them, just workers before OSHA, just
I know.
On giant beams way in the sky.
I know. And here's the thing: none of them are ever hot.
No. And none of them died.
So modern day cosmetics, I think that should be what is praised.
For sure.
I see all these black and white photos. Look at all these uggos. No one looks like Jessica Simpson in 2005. It's crazy.
Yeah, times are wild. Yeah, now it's amazing what makeup can do because you have just a huge generation of fat people that were trying to turn attractive.
Hey, here's the thing.
Makeup.
I love BBW. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But I think people. I don't know. I think makeup is impressive. Like, I think it's either a good hobby, something you like to do.
Yeah.
Some people do it professionally. People get real creative with makeup, so I'll never ick anybody's makeup. Or want them to look beautiful.
Yeah.
But some people aren't good at it.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing. Like, a little too much contour. Like, why are you doing blue eyeshadow still?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in some circumstances,
I don't want to
isn't better.
I don't want to ick anybody's yum. I'm sure as long as they feel beautiful, that's all that matters.
There has been some just impressive. Like, I can think of 2 instances in my life where I was.
She got me. Wow, she got me.
There was just so like surprisingly wild makeup that's like I can't believe this is for real.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. You're talking about Jeff Hardy.
So, man.
I saw that face paint and I was like, this guy. Not a wrestling guy?
I mean, I couldn't connect who Jeff Hardy was until you said wrestling. And
Okay, alright.
No, man. I'm not a huge wrestling guy. I like wrestling.
I'm telling you, wrestling is back, man.
It kind of
Cena
is.
just turned heel. It's the
What is heel?
So heel means like bad guy.
Oh shit!
Yeah, because in like that's how they like.
Oh, that's a literary term.
It's a wrestling term. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So John Cena's been a good guy for like 20 years,
Forever.
and he just recently, like in the last month, is turning into a bad guy.
Is this like related to like him being a villain in a movie coming up or something? Or
Not that I know of. No, it's
he's just gone rogue.
It's the never-ending script of the WWE.
Yeah.
And it's a script that's just continually keeps getting to be written.
Oh yeah.
It's not. I don't see an end in sight for WWE.
Oh, for sure not.
WrestleMania's coming up, and that's like
Huge.
it's the biggest night of the year.
Well, what SmackDown? Did SmackDown happen here? No, Wrestle.
SmackDown and the Royal Rumble were here.
Royal Rumble. Right.
They were both here for a weekend. Royal Rumble was
What a
great.
crazy weekend for Indianapolis. There's everybody in town for that.
It was a tough parking weekend.
yeah, for sure.
But no, wrestling took over, and I worked at WrestleCon. I was because I been acting like with this one like production company. I'm in this one project, but they have another project where it's a wrestling movie they're trying to get funded.
Cool.
So they were there, and I was just kind of like just passing out like business cards and everything like that.
Yes.
But I was just wandering around, seeing different people and everything.
Oh, yeah.
It was a fun time.
That's cool.
It's a real culture. It's a cool culture.
Hell yeah. Yeah. How long have you been doing acting?
Well, I started doing theater in college. I did
improv, or
I did improv, but then I was also I wasn't a theater major or anything like that.
Okay.
But I got involved like in kind of like the theater department and the student. I was actually vice president of like the student ran like theater club.
That's cool.
Theater and society. So then I was in a few productions in college. I've done like sketches and stuff.
Yeah.
One for school projects. I feel like that's everybody's like first introduction to school projects and everything.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but
I've done some embarrassing school projects.
oh, it's fun. Yeah,
Yeah.
I would say this last year I did a couple commercials for the first time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I did in St. Louis for a hot and spicy chip. But what's okay? So I don't think I've told you about this, but it's funny because I don't do well with spice. Maybe you're
I'm a spice guy. I like
see,
spice.
but you're Irish Catholic, so yeah. But my taste buds do not do spicy. So for the shots and the bit we were doing, I had to take a bite and eat it. And so you're doing so many shots.
Yeah.
I keep eating these spicy chips. I don't have the courage to say like, hey, I'm sweating. I'm like, there's no, I'm not going to watch the playback, but I'm just sweating. And they're like, hey, we do need you to eat the chip, but take your time. And so that was just one instance where I was just like, I think I could die doing this.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we did the 2 Dice Dare. I don't know if you heard.
Yes, I do remember that. Uh-huh.
But me and Darren Feinsilver, like...
Of course, Darren Feinsilver.
Oh, yeah. We were eating, like, habaneros and...
I was about to say, that's the one story I brought with me was Darren Feinsilver was there for it. But continue, I'm sorry.
Oh, really? That's cool.
That's the one story I brought with me.
Yeah, I mean, the night was great. It's a fun video. I think we'll put the link in the description. But it was some heat. There was like, we were like trying to decide the rules because it was the first episode of this new channel, and there was like some wild things. Like for a moment, it was like we could do 6 rounds with like 6 bites each round, and they're just getting hotter. And I was like, we gotta slow down, dude. I don't know about all that. But it went well.
Darren likes to swing big. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like did he ate hot now? Yeah, we both ate.
He
hot
better
now.
have.
Yeah, we both did.
Yeah, I'm in a like a feature project with him right now, and there's this one scene where I get to slap him.
Yeah.
And I Ric Flair chop this guy at probably 80% speed.
Yeah,
So it's just
it's
boom.
solid.
And it smacked.
Yeah.
It was so satisfying.
That's
But
cool.
the one story I brought with me happened this weekend while we were shooting. We were shooting on a location in a small town called Sumner, Illinois. So it's like a small town, like 2,500 people. So we're there shooting this thing, and there are these 2 kids walking around. They're like Stand By Me age, so like kind of like that age. And so they just keep doing laps around the town, and so we'll be inside and we'll run outside. We'll just keep like running into these 2 kids. So I ended up talking to them, and we're like, "What are you doing here?" Like, "Oh, we're doing a movie and everything like that." And I was just like, "What's your guys' favorite movie?" And this one kid's like, "Oh, World War Z." I'm like, "You're a psychopath."
Yeah, that's a crazy
And
thing.
this other kid's like, I was like, "What's yours?" And he's like, "Waterboy." I was like, "We got stuff to talk about now." So I talked to him like 3 minutes, and we just fucked up. And then we wrap up for the day, and so we're doing stuff, and we're talking, and they were just wanting to learn more about this like process. Like, well, some of us are actors, some of us are on a crew. They were like, "How did you guys become like actors?" Like, "Well, me and Darren here, we know each other from like comedy. I'm a comedian." Like, "No way, are you on TikTok?" I was like, "Yes, I'm on TikTok."
Yeah.
So they looked me up on TikTok. They're like, "Cool." And so we were finishing up. We're finishing up loading everything back in and wrapping for the day. And these 2 kids come back one more lap, and they were like, they liked my TikTok videos.
Oh yeah.
And so they were like, "Hey, we don't have anything for you to sign. Can you sign like our fruit snacks?" And this guy had a Gatorade bottle. "Can you sign our fruit snacks and our Gatorade bottle?" And I was like, "This is why I do it." Like,
yeah,
these 2,
dude,
like
that's
12,
awesome.
yeah. And so I'm signing it, and everything. And they asked to take a picture with me, and so I'm taking a picture. It's great. The thing you should know about this movie, it's a very raunchy movie. Like everything is raunchy about the script. Like the script is raunchy, the setting, the dialogue, what we're wearing is raunchy. And I take these pictures with these kids, and it was on their phones. They did one, and I was like, "You know, guys, you guys are cool. Give me a picture online."
Yeah.
And so they gave me a picture online, and I was like, it really filled me up for the day. It really warmed my heart.
Yeah, that's amazing.
But I took a picture with them in a really inappropriate shirt that they now have on their phone, and I brought the shirt with me today.
Did you?
I have the picture with them.
I'll go to the camera that's directly on you.
Is it this guy right here?
It's that guy.
The shirt I was wearing is this one that says, "I eat pussy from the back." And so these 2 12-year-old kids in small town Illinois have a picture with a random comedian with a shirt that says, "I eat pussy from the back."
And they're like, what, like 13, 12?
Stand By Me
like
age.
that?
Like, they could have walked and found a dead body. They were that age.
Dude,
But
that's amazing. I'm sure they love it. It's on their gram, I'm sure.
I got 2 TikTok followers.
Yeah.
But yeah, they were really really cool kids.
Yeah, so did you sign a fruit snack box or like a fruit snack?
Single, well, not like a single fruit snack. It was like one of the Mott's, like single ones. Yeah.
Mott's are quality.
Mott's are
That's a good one.
Yeah. But
so
it made my weekend.
Yeah,
it
that's so cool.
But then I'm like, oh, their parents are like, "Oh, look at this picture I took with this comedian," and they zoom in on my shirt, like. So I'm pretty sure I'm on some kind of list now.
Yeah.
The
kids love it.
I had no thought of that shirt for the next 2 hours. I was driving home, And I was like, oh, I should check out that picture, see how it came out. And he was like, no!
These poor kids.
No!
They're going to post it, and then they're going to have to go to the principal's office.
It was like, hey, you guys can't do this.
Yeah.
Like,
dude, I remember I wore a shirt that had like it was like Hawaiian. It was like Spirit Week. It was Hawaiian.
I loved Spirit Week.
Spirit Week was the
Spirit
shit.
Week was awesome. If you didn't like Spirit Week, you were a nerd.
One time I wore like a Guinness, like a shirt that had Guinness, and I like had to go down to the principal's office, then like put duct tape over it. I don't know.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they have to do that.
Yeah.
Everything.
I didn't even notice it.
They couldn't do a damn thing about me being Ace Ventura.
Yeah, dude, that's
They
cool.
couldn't do a damn thing about it.
That's so on the money. That's
it was cool, and I had like I had Bieber hair like in high school, so I was able to kind of like curve it up and everything. It was yeah, and I'm a huge Jim Carrey fan. JC is like my guy.
Yeah, me and another student both went dressed as Dwight one day.
No, perfect. Yeah.
Yeah.
Office day.
Oh yeah, I brought in the bobblehead in my briefcase and everything. I had parted hair.
Did they have Spirit Week in college for you too?
I don't think so. In Cincinnati, did we? Oh,
well, I think
maybe I just wasn't
I
participating.
think
enough.
bigger campuses probably wouldn't have it,
Yeah.
but then when you go to small schools, they do also
Yeah.
have Spirit Weeks, which is
That's sweet.
kind of funny, but
Yeah.
also kind of weird.
It's like a
Not
community vibe.
not everybody like contributes or anything like that, but
Yeah.
then sometimes they do. But I think I dressed her up as the fucker riding the pussy guy. Do you know that video? Fucker riding the pussy. And it was Halloween weekend too, so I was like, let's just double time.
Hell yeah, that's sweet. Just interrupting I feel like
Every lecture I had to do it.
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
In this like TikTok era, I feel like the fucker riding the pussy guy could really find a lot of videos
Dude,
to just
Did you?
go off in.
I just found out. I didn't just find out, but I found out that wasn't real. And
What?
I'm sorry if I'm breaking it to you.
Yeah.
That was staged, and I found that out, and I was a little upset for a couple of days.
Yeah, that
I
hurts,
felt,
dude.
and it was after I dressed up. I was dressing up doing this, like, this is a real guy that does it and just speaks the truth.
So realist.
He's a real man. But then I found out it was fake, and I was just like, all right. And same thing, it happened, I think, last year. I found out that Wild and Out, the show, I found out that it's scripted.
Yeah.
And see, so a lot of people are like, yeah, of course it is. I didn't know that until I was 28 years old, and I was backstage with Maddie Smith, who was on Wild and Out.
Really?
And I asked her the question, oh, so do you still do improv? And she's like, I don't do improv. I was like, oh, but like Wild and Out. She's like, oh, it's not improv, it's scripted. And I literally, my whole universe went, whoa. I was like, no. And then it broke my heart. But then she is fantastic and super cool and everything.
Right.
I think she even was just like, you want to do some scenes? I was like, no, I don't. Yeah, I was hanging out there with Asian Chardonnay and Nate Robinson were back there. And we were doing improv. And I don't know if they were just all doing it. It's like, let's make Strat feel better. Okay, then it's all fake. That his reality is shattered.
Yeah.
But they were super kind about it. Yeah.
That's like, whose line has got to be raw improv? I mean, I think.
I'm sure there are some.
Right? They might get hints on like what bits they might have.
Yeah,
Like
I'm sure there
songs
are
or
some
something.
things that they throw in, but I also grew up with Whose Line Is It Anyway?
Right.
And here's the thing: people look at Whose Line Is It Anyway, and they're like, "That's so good, it has to be scripted." It's not.
Yeah,
It's
I
just
don't
done
think so.
by guys that have been doing improv for decades and that are really good at it.
Right. Like my favorite is what's his name?
Wayne Brady.
Wayne Brady.
Wayne Brady is the god.
He's so good.
Does Wayne Brady have to smack a bitch? Favorite Chappelle skit? Yeah. Pimp Wayne Brady. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll say I really like Ryan Stiles and Colin Mockery.
Yeah.
They're-
For sure.
Yeah, yeah. I can't
jeez.
pick anybody on the show.
Yeah. The old era with Carey, right? It's Drew Carey, right?
Yeah,
His
yeah.
old house. Like so gold.
I feel like Drew Carey could be like your uncle.
Yeah, I would love it. Oh, I got some fun uncles. Both my parents have huge families, so I got a lot.
I feel that. I got 2 fun uncles too. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Yeah, we always.
I'll say, do you any of your siblings have kids yet?
No.
All right, you're still waiting it out. I'll say, dude,
like
being an uncle is the best role that you're
Is
ever
it?
gonna have. Everyone's like, have kids. I'm like, no, make your siblings have kids.
Yeah.
Tell your siblings to whore out because it is so much fun. I've been an uncle for 20 years.
Really?
20
That's
years. I have a
awesome.
20-year-old nephew. Yeah, I got a 20-year-old nephew, a 17-year-old nephew, and I think a 10, 11-year-old niece. Yeah.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah, and they're
Man, so
they're
those
my
are like
favorite. They're some of my
adults.
favorite
They're
people.
like young adults now.
Yeah, I would say.
Full people.
Yeah, dude. Like my nephew's about to turn 21 and about to be able to have a beer.
Yeah.
I remember when he was born. I was in 2nd grade at 10 years old. I'm closer in age with him than I am my own sister. Like me and my nephew Austin, we were 10 years apart. Me and my sister are 12 years apart.
Oh wow.
So it's a fun little mix.
Yeah, it's interesting how like families work out like that. Like I have like I think it's 43 first cousins.
Oh, you're Catholic.
Oh yeah,
That adds up.
But both my parents are the youngest, so all that generation is like older than me and my siblings.
Your parents are fun, aren't they?
Oh yeah, they're great.
Because the youngest is always the funnest.
Yeah, for sure.
Most fun, but I'm gonna say funnest.
It does add up. Although I think I rival with Aaron about funnest.
Well, here's the thing:
Let's go.
every sibling thinks they're the most fun, but
See,
it's the youngest. I'm just saying.
yeah.
I'm just saying.
No, I'm the middle child. I'm the peace bringer or something like that.
Well,
Just lighthearted.
I think a sibling chooses to be the peacemaker or not.
Yeah.
I'm definitely like the peacemaker. I was literally talking with my dad today, and we are just having coffee, and we are just getting into like some deep conversation. And I was just like, yeah, I did hear like the youngest child a lot of times is like the glue of the family because they're an outsider coming in and everything. And my dad was like, yeah, you're the glue of the family. You just didn't stick because my parents are divorced. And so I was like, no, yeah, my bad. I couldn't do it. I couldn't hold it together. He's like, you're like an old stale Elmer's like glue stick,
Yeah,
dude.
glue
Like
stick.
you did not help us at all.
Yeah, so I left the cap off.
For months, yeah. For 12 years,
Oh,
and then they had
man.
another kid. They're like, all right, cool. Let's try to draw on the back of this thing and pop it
Yeah.
on.
Man, is that why you're a comedian? Because your parents are divorced? What a horrible question that is. What a horrible question.
If your parents are divorced, how dare you not be a stand-up comedian?
Yeah.
No, but it helps.
Yeah.
No, it is one of those things where it's my spiritual hippy dippy side where it's like I do feel like this is kind of like what I was born to do.
Yeah.
My family is super supportive, and my mom, since I was like 6 years old, was like, Stratton, you need to be on stage.
Really?
Like my mom has been saying that because my mom, she's done a couple productions herself, but she did it.
That's cool.
She did it later in life, like when she was like in her 60s, and so she like came to theater a little bit later, and then she is a snowbird in Florida, and they have a talent show every year, and she's always the best one.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm biased.
She just
I've gotten to
that
catch a
talent
couple,
showdown,
and
man.
she did like 5 sketches last year, and she did a Janis Joplin song, brought the house down.
Nice.
Rhonda brings the heat, man.
That's awesome.
She's such a groovy lady.
Yeah, I get my
yeah.
social gene, I think, from my mom. for
I
sure.
think we all do.
Yeah.
I was doing a show one time, and somebody was doing crowd work, and they were just like, "Who here? Who's the more fun parent? Is it your mom or your dad?" Or they're like, "Who's the chillest parent? Like mom or dad?" And everybody's like, "Dad. Dad's always chillest," and everything like that. And then they're like, "Who's the most fun?" And they're just like, "Oh, mom."
Yeah.
Yeah, moms are usually the most fun one.
Yeah, for sure. Like the cruise we went on, my mom inspired that for sure.
Yeah.
Huge Jimmy Buffett family too.
Same. My dad has seen Jimmy Buffett more than anyone.
Really?
Like,
That's awesome.
I think he's seen him like 5 or 6 times, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I got to see him 3 times,
Yeah.
and they were all
Bangers.
the most.
Hey,
fun
my
times.
man does it.
Yeah,
It's
does
the
it
same,
right.
It's the same show every time.
Oh, crushes.
If he doesn't play the hits, what are you doing?
And so the cruise we went on was a Margaritaville cruise.
Oh, one of those. I have heard of that.
It was sick.
Dude,
I think they're fairly new.
Was it just like White Trash Paradise?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I've been trying to do a bit about like how like everybody there, like all of the girls are wearing like Temu stuff that's using child labor, and then like everybody's buying drinks from like these indigenous workers.
Yeah.
That are all sending money back to their family.
For sure, yeah.
So their kids don't have to work. It's just like such a dichotomy.
I know, and
being played out on the boat.
And I feel like there's like you can look at couples and be like, all right, they are thinking about getting divorced. This is their last shot to see if it works.
Yeah.
That guy is by himself. This is his last week on the planet.
Yeah, for sure.
He's jumping overboard if this doesn't go right. If he doesn't crush it at karaoke. And also, if you have a karaoke night, who are you to do Jimmy?
There was many.
And then how many people did Jimmy Buffett songs?
I did not make it, but I assume
it should be 0 because how dare you?
Yeah.
Yeah, imagine you have karaoke night on the Margaritaville cruise. And you're just like, let's do Soulja Boy. It's like, read the room.
Yeah, there was pretty, like, constantly pool deck. It was Jimmy Buffett vibes and music. But, like, there was a club that was pretty much no Jimmy Buffett vibes, you know?
I think that's fair.
Yeah. And,
Diddy only. There's a Diddy club.
Yeah. There's a comedian on board. I should have went. He had 2 shows. I didn't go to the first one.
Hold up. You went there was a cruise and there's a comic on it and you're just like, nah.
Dude, I wanted to try to get on. I was going to go to the first show, then I was partying, time escaped, and I was drinking, and
you're on
just vibes.
Here's the thing. You're on vacation. You're on vacation.
Yeah. But I should have went to the first show to try to get time on the second show. Because I met the comedian after the second show, and he was cool. But
cruise ship comedians are usually go with the flow.
Yeah.
People. Yeah.
It made me fairly confident. I feel like I was like, man, I could do this room. I could do it.
Could you do it clean?
Probably. But the show I went to was the adult show, so it was
the late show is fun, but then here's the thing, if you can't do clean, you can't get on a cruise ship.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah. But I think the late shows are like, all right, sweet, I get to do the jokes I like.
Yeah.
Sometimes. But then if you're a good clean comic, you like your clean jokes too.
Yeah. Yeah, like for the first multiple shows I did, I was just trying to do cleans. Like, wasn't trying to make any sex jokes or really steer away from.
So you were going clean when you started? Yeah.
I like clean in the sense that, like, okay, my mom's probably going to be there.
Yeah,
let's do something respectable.
Yeah. You know? For sure.
So, like, I have like a whole notes app about like sex jokes, but just never see the light of day. I actually did one set at Happy Place.
Okay. Yeah.
Like one of their weekend mics, RP Happy Place.
Yeah.
And I did, like I have like a good couple of minutes just trying to joke about how guys are better at sex than girls and just all the reasons I think that.
Okay. Just bullet point it. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so I just went through that set once. And that was the only, like...
And you're just looking at your mom the whole time like, am I right?
No, there was like 5 people there. So I was like, all right, I'm ripping...
Oh, we know that feeling.
I'm ripping the sex jokes because this feels like a room that can
I feel that because I went the opposite route where I started dark and then...
really?
And then now I cleaned it up.
Nice.
Yeah. Because I've been a comedy fan since so my dad is the one that really got me into comedy because he was a big comedy fan growing up.
Nice.
My dad had me when he was like 42 or 43, and so he grew up with like Carlin, Pryor. He got to see like the Murphy era, all of SNL, and the guys that came from there. So then I was always like, it was always around. It was always talked about a lot. My mom was a big comedy fan too. And so when I was like, oh, I want to do that, they're like, yeah, that makes sense. That adds up. And they're like, yeah. And then, but here's the thing. It's been my dream.
Mm-hmm.
But my backup plan was always like the fire department. I was like,
oh yeah,
I've always got the fire department there and everything like that.
Look at this intersection we've found
ourselves at. I found myself here, and I've never felt better.
Interesting. Yeah, I was talking to somebody yesterday that was like, yeah, I think I'm going to go into the fire department. And I was like, dude, same. Doesn't
Here's the
sound
thing.
like you're happy with your job.
Firefighters love their job.
Yeah.
I would even say best job ever.
Yeah.
I think Kurt Vonnegut has a quote, and he was a volunteer firefighter and one of my favorite writers. If you don't know Kurt Vonnegut, I'm ignorant. No, he was he's a famous writer, and he's from Indianapolis. But he says he can't think of any higher representation of humanity other than a firefighter.
Yeah.
And I stand by that. But I'm also biased because both my parents are firefighters, and we grew up in it.
Yeah, I've never met like I've had interactions with like cops before. Where it was like, all right, that seemed like there was a lot of friction. Every cop I've ever talked to are the most nice person ever. I don't know why I just decided.
It's because you're white.
It's
because you're the whitest person I've ever seen. No,
it's true.
No, I'll say. I'll say. Hey, there are good cops, and then there are bad cops. Don't quote me on that. But what I will say, I won't even comment on it. I was like, I'm just really happy both my parents are firefighters, not both cops. It has made life pretty fun, and but then it's because it's like when your parents are both firefighters, they hang out with firefighters, and firefighters have like a certain like personality, and it's usually they're pretty fun.
Yeah.
Firefighters are usually like pretty fun. They're known to be a little wild, known to be a little raunchy. And so we would go on vacations with other firefighter families.
Oh, nice.
A lot of trips to Holiday World, Splash and Safari, with the Donlins, and yeah, man, it was just.
Damn, dude, we're gonna have to go to Holiday World this summer.
Dude, comics trip to Holiday World.
We should do it. We can watch this.
All right, let's get it out there.
I got a pad we can stay at. We'll be great. We
can do that, or we can camp or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, my parents got a spot on Christmas Lake.
No shit.
Oh yeah, it's majestic.
Oh my gosh, good old Santa Claus, Indiana.
Yeah.
Man, unsung hero of Indiana, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. I need to get a weekend together that I can just invite everybody down.
Done. I would love that.
Yeah. We'll make it happen.
I wonder if there's like we could do like a showcase or something down there.
Oh, dude, I know the space. There's
Great Wolf Lodge.
No, the Santa Claus Brewing Company. Oh, dude. Okay, they opened up, right? And there's like, Ferdinand has the nuns that make the beer. and it's that.
Like real nuns make the beer?
Yeah. And so that's the beer.
Totally.
It's amazing. And it's like the Jasper Brewing Company that they do, and the Santa Claus Brewing Company. Dude. And so, but the brewery's like in a basement, and it is nice, but the space right above it is like, what is it, the VRF, like veteran space or something? But it's
that'd be fun.
Hall. It's a beautiful hall, like with a balcony that wraps around and like super open. And I like that space, so I go.
Well, you don't want it to be too open. You want to fill it up, yeah.
Yeah, well, we could make it.
Because if 4 people come to an open room, it hurts a little more. It just hurts this much more.
No, it is probably the perfect little pocket of space.
We'll pack the house. We can get that whole town there.
Yeah.
All 14 of them.
That'd be fun.
I like that a lot. That'd be groovy as hell.
That'd be cool. Well, we've been going... Oh, damn, almost 2 hours.
All right.
Wrap it up, probably, maybe.
Wrap it up? Yeah, you're cool with me, man. This is great. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
this is so super fun.
Dude,
you're homie. Is there anything you want to, like, plug during this little outro part?
Yeah, I'm about to say I'm on Instagram at WeirdStrat, Facebook Stratton Smith. I have a podcast. About to say I've got a comedy EP called The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn on Spotify. Nice. Just like a little 25-minute comedy EP.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. I would say if you got like a 25-minute drive, it's just some jokes. It's from a couple years ago.
Nice. Yeah. Hell yeah.
So yeah, that's me.
Sweet. Well, I'm looking forward to it. I'll throw all the links in the description. Thanks again for coming on.
Thank you, man. You're a sweetheart. This was a blast.
Yeah. I'm excited to get this out. All right, you want to do the intro?
Let's do it.
All right, ready? Okay. Welcome back to the Friends with Differences podcast. Stratton Smith, thank you for coming on.
Thank you. That was a blast. That was so much fun.
I'm really happy to have this conversation. And,
yeah, I can't believe you said all those things about minorities. That was nuts.
I just had to rip open that jar of worms.
The jar of worms.
What else besides me making horrible jokes did we do this podcast?
Man, I'm about to say we talked a little bit about a funny story I had this weekend where I might have ruined a couple kids' childhoods.
Yeah, and your acting career, our comedy careers, the roast battles.
Yep.
We got going on, seeing the finals.
Yeah, we got to talk a little bit about wrestling. Got to talk about we talked about like firefighters because we are in a firehouse right now, so we had to talk about it. Yeah, it was
hit a bunch of stuff. The Office.
Oh, we fangirled.
We might have to do another episode just talking
about
The Office.
I'm in. I'm so in.
Cool. Well, thanks again for coming on, and
thank you.
Enjoy the episode.
It was Perfectenschlag.
Hell yeah. All right. I'll see you on the flickety flick. Woo!
Friends with differences.